If your cat views the kitchen counter as a satellite branch of its personal bistro and your grilled chicken as fair game plunder, rest assured you are not alone. This nightly and sometimes daily pilfering is a source of frustration for millions of cat owners worldwide. However, before you label your feline a naughty thief, it's crucial to understand the motives behind the crime. This behavior is not born of spite, but is rooted in pure, instinctual biology. From your cat's perspective, that elevated, flat surface is not a forbidden zone, it's simply a very convenient, interesting-smelling shelf that often yields high-value rewards. The good news is that with patience, strategy, and a shift in mindset, you can reform even the most seasoned feline burglar. The key is to act as a wise, proactive strategist rather than a reactive, angry giant. This guide will serve as your comprehensive manual for Operation Table is Not a Trough, breaking down the mission into 3 core strategic pillars, outlining critical mistakes to avoid, and providing the psychological framework for lasting success. Pillar 1. Eliminate the opportunity, the most critical step. The first and most fundamental rule in behavior modification is to make the unwanted behavior impossible to perform. You cannot train a behavior that is constantly being reinforced by success. This phase is about environmental management. The Clean Sweep Protocol adopts a zero-tolerance policy for unattended food. Left the kitchen? The plate goes into the refrigerator, the microwave, or a securely latched cabinet. This includes just-for-a-minute scenarios. Crumbs, greasy wrappers, butter left on a dish, all are tantalizing clues that this is a rewarding hunting ground. Become meticulous. Neutralize the launch pad. Tablecloths, especially those with overhanging edges, are essentially red carpets and climbing ropes for cats. Remove them. Opt for fitted table mats, silicone pads, or table protectors that lie flat against the surface, offering no purchase for determined claws. A smooth, bare surface is less inviting and more difficult to scale. Strategic barricades and deterrents. During the initial intensive retraining period, use passive deterrents to make the surface itself unpleasant. Aluminum foil laid out on the edges produces a startling sound and weird texture underfoot. Double-sided sticky tape is universally loathed by feline paws. There are also commercial scat mats that deliver a harmless, static pulse. The goal is for the cat to associate the jump onto the table with an immediate, mildly aversive experience that comes from the environment, not from you. One startling encounter can be more effective than a dozen reprimands. Pillar 2. Provide a legal, superior alternative. A cat stealing food is often motivated by more than just hunger. It can be boredom, instinctual hunting drive, or seeking a higher value food source. Your job is to ensure their legitimate needs are not only met, but exceeded. Master the feeding schedule. Free feeding, leaving dry food out all day, can lead to boredom with their own food and a desire to hunt for something better. Transitioning to scheduled, portion-controlled meals creates structure. The cat learns that delicious, reliable food comes predictably from their bowl. For the industrious hunter, consider using puzzle feeders or food dispensing toys that make them work for their kibble, satisfying their predatory sequence. The sanctity of the bowl. Location matters. Ensure the food and water bowls are in a quiet, low-traffic, and safe area of the home, never next to the litter box or a loud appliance. This spot should be their peaceful dining hall. Elevate the status of their own meals by occasionally adding a topper of a high-quality wet food or a sprinkle of a protein they love, like bonito flakes, making their official dinner more exciting than the unknown variable on the table. Combat boredom, the mother of crime. A mentally and physically stimulated cat has less energy and inclination for mischief. Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes twice a day to interactive play sessions that mimic the hunt, a wand toy for chasing and pouncing. Follow this hunt with a small meal or treat, the kill and eat phases. This ritual drains energy and fulfills their core instinctual programming. Provide independent enrichment, window perches for cat TV, cardboard boxes, and rotating novel toys. Pillar 3. Make the table an unattractive and unsafe zone. This is where active training happens. The cardinal rule: never use physical punishment. Hitting, spraying with water while you're present, or rubbing their nose in something creates fear and anxiety towards you, not towards the counter. It erodes trust and can lead to secretive, sneaky behavior. The interrupt and redirect method, your most powerful tool. Catch your cat in the act of preparing to jump or just landing. Use a firm, low-pitched eh or off, immediately followed by a sharp, startling sound, a hand clap, a shake of a can with pennies inside, or a firm tap on the table. The instant they hesitate or back off, redirect their attention. Toss a toy away from the table, call them to their designated perch, or offer a treat from your hand at ground level. You are interrupting the unwanted behavior and immediately rewarding an alternative, desirable one. Employ passive patrols. For times you're not in the room, set up harmless booby traps. Balance empty aluminum cans or a tower of plastic cups at the edge of the table. When the cat jumps up, the resulting crash is startling and unpleasant. The critical learning is that the table itself caused this scary event. Motion-activated deterrents like a compressed air canister, SSC cat, that lets out a hiss are excellent high-tech options. Again, the cat attributes the consequence to its own action on the space, not to an angry owner. The forbidden tactics, what never to do. Punish after the fact. Scolding or punishing a cat even 1 minute after they've stolen food and run off is completely ineffective. Felines live in the immediate present. They will only associate your anger with whatever they are doing at that moment, e.g., walking into the room, looking at you, creating confusion and anxiety. The crime and punishment must be instantaneous to be linked. Chase or make a game of it. Running after a cat with a stolen prize turns a serious behavioral issue into the thrilling game of keep away. You are now a participant in their fun, reinforcing the excitement of the theft. Reward with laughter or attention. If the sight of your cat dragging a sausage link away is met with giggles, camera phones, and amused chatter, you have just provided a massive social reward. Attention, positive or negative, is still attention. For a social creature, this can be enough to guarantee an encore performance. The keystone of success: relentless consistency and patience. This is not a 3-day fix. You are rewriting a deeply ingrained behavioral script, and that requires time, typically 2 weeks to a month or more for persistent cases. Unified front. Every human in the household must follow the same rules. One person giving just a little piece from their plate undermines weeks of work by everyone else. The message must be unanimous and unwavering. Human food is not cat food. Patience is the strategy. There will be setbacks. The cat will test the boundaries, especially as you begin to relax your guard. Do not get discouraged. Revert to Pillar 1, environmental management, more strictly for a few days, and reinforce Pillars 2 and 3. Your ultimate goal is not to create a fearful, cowed animal, but a contented, well-adjusted pet who understands the house rules. You want them to learn through consistent experience that the table is a boring, unpredictable, and potentially startling place, while their own designated areas, their bowl, their perch, their toy basket, are the reliable, safe, and rewarding sources of all good things in life. The day you sit down to a meal and your cat, instead of scheming at your elbow, chooses to curl up on its cat tree or play with its own toy, you will know the mission is accomplished. The victory is twofold. Your dinner remains your own, and the bond with your feline companion is preserved, not through fear, but through mutual understanding and respect. The great heist will be over, and peace will reign in the kitchen once more.